Hey everybody, if you have already mastered your fire lay for your campfires and you're still having problems with the bow and drill friction fire method, this video is for you. I want to share with you a little bit of insight into that fire lay that's going to help you with your bow and drill friction fire technique. Let's get started. Okay, right here I have a pretty typical fire lay. It starts off, as we all know, with our very small material, and then it just goes progressively up and up the fire chain to the larger fuels. So right here, I've got a little pile of fat wood shavings here, and it goes into some dry wood shavings, little curls that I made with my knife, little feather sticks if you want to call them that, or feathers. And then it just progressively goes up and up and up into your finger-sized stuff here. Larger fuels, maybe, if you want to call it that. Kindling. Here's an old fireboard. Here's another fireboard I'm about to burn up right here. And then it just goes into progressively larger and larger materials. Like maybe you want to throw this stuff on there, okay? But importantly, it starts off right here with the very small, very flammable stuff. This happens to be little fat wood, and then the curls. All right, that's incredibly important. So why do I show you that fire lay if you've already got it down? It's because it is directly related to why we fail with the bow and drill. That fat wood and those small feathers that you carve with your knife, that stuff will take a spark from a ferro rod very quickly, very easily. No problem. But a ferro rod is going to shower sparks that measure about 1500 degrees, 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. With the bow and drill, you're only producing heat that's maybe 7, 8, maybe 900 degrees Fahrenheit if you're really laying into it and really putting the heat to it. So because of that smaller or that lower temperature, you have to have much smaller, finer material, stuff that's going to ignite at a much lower temperature. And that's where the dust comes in. That's where that black dust comes in when you're first starting your bowing process. Let's look at it. I'm going to stop right here before I have the ember, because I just want to show you this concept. This dust is very, very fine. And you can see I don't have an ember there. I stopped early. I just want to show you this dust is very, very fine. Much finer than the fat wood shavings or the feathers that you're going to produce with your knife. It has to be, because it has to be able to ignite at 700 or 800 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever it is. That's crucial. So when you're producing this dust during your bow and drill friction fire technique, essentially what you're doing is you're creating your fire lay, the stuff that's going to start your fire, just like this stuff here, but something that will take a lower temperature. That dust replaces the feather sticks and the fat wood shavings, because that is going to ignite with the lower temperatures that I produce with the bow and drill. It's got to be smaller. Essentially, all I'm doing is preparing my fire lay when I'm drilling. I'm just preparing the very first portions of my fire lay. Now in this part here, you'll remember that all we need to do is just let that ember sit inside that bird nest and incubate in there. Let it heat up. Because this larger material, these feathers, they require a higher temperature. So we let them heat up in there. Once they're good and hot, of course, we already know, blow on it just a little bit till it goes to flame, set that sucker in your fire lay, and you're good to go. That shit got too hot to hold. With every fire, we start small. And with lower temperatures, such as what we produce with the bow and drill friction fire or the hand drill method, we need to start even smaller. And that is why it's so incredibly important that you apply just enough pressure at the beginning to start producing that black dust. That is your smallest material. That dust is your fire lay, the very bottom portion of it. I hope this helps, guys. Have a blast.